D-Lo full for boxing and more here. Shout out to the LDBC. Hey, real quick, I want to talk about this Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder issue they're having with being able to come up with an offer that they think could get Deontay Wilder's attention. Okay, we know that Eddie Hearn likes to throw flat fee offers at Deontay Wilder for some reason. There are those who are buying Anthony Joshua's claim that he's only having issues with making a fight with Wilder because Wilder is hard to deal with and demanding too much money or demanding too much in negotiations. But we also know that every offer that has come out that they made have been flat fee offers. We know that they initially said Deontay Wilder didn't deserve the fight. Then we know that they came back and said Deontay Wilder didn't deserve a percentage. And then we know that the first offer that was made public was $12.5 million flat for Deontay Wilder, no back end money. Personally, let me say, I don't care how much these guys fight for. Wilder takes $1 million flat and makes the fight, or if he gets 60%, makes the fight. Whether Anthony Joshua gets $1 million flat or 60% and makes the fight, it makes no difference to me. I just want to see the fight when the time comes to make the fight. If Wilder is tied up in this rematch with Tyson Fury, if it goes forward, I support that. If it doesn't go forward and he's not obligated by the WBC to go ahead and take that Brazil fight, and Joshua hadn't named an opponent by that time, I'm all about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua going ahead and making this fight. But money seems to be a hang-up for the most part. I think Joshua's team has pretty much said the fight's going to be in the UK. They're not... I've heard rumors that they said they could fight Deontay Wilder in the U.S., but for the most part, it seems that they want to fight for the U.K. They want it at Wembley. They want it on April 13th at Wembley. They want that to happen. They've already booked the venue. They need to find a way to make the negotiations take place, but also to go ahead and get the fight made. Wilder has said he has to have 50-50 or don't bother him, but at the same time, I think if this is my opinion, I think if they come with a percentage that's respectable, but I think you have to start at something higher than you gave Joseph Parker, because Wilder's a lot more accomplished than Joseph Parker in boxing. Period. A lot more accomplished as a champion, a lot more accomplished as a boxer than Joseph Parker was at that point in his career. When he got, I think it was like 33.5%. So I think anything above that is a good starting point, and they can work their way from there. Now, in my opinion, if I had any say in making the fight happen, what I would do, if it was up to me, I would offer Deontay Wilder. I would say this is a 50-50 fight. In the event of a draw, the winner gets 65%, the loser gets 35%. If it's a draw, 50-50. I think that's fair. Or they could even go a step further and say, if it's a draw, it's 60-40 to Anthony Joshua, since they're the one making the offer. But at the same time, I feel like the way to dead all this about who's ducking who's afraid to lose and all of that nonsense is put some added incentive on winning the fight. Since AJ threw around the word incentive, well, you tie that incentive to a percentage, you might get a fight. Both guys confident they can win. Hey, go in there and say, hey, winner gets the lion's share of the person. Winner gets the lion's share of the revenue of the fight. The loser gets the leftovers, so to speak. 65-35 to the winner. That's my suggestion. I think that will make the fight happen. Not that not that anyone's going to listen to what I'm saying as far as anyone that's remotely tied to making this fight happen. But that's my spiel on it, you know. I think Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins did something similar when they had their rematch, because both guys felt like they deserved the lion's share of the money. I think it went 60-40 to the winner. But, you know, I know that Eddie Hearn thinks 60-40 to the winner is robbery. So I think he would probably feel that they deserve 65 if they win. But if they lose, he's going to sing a different tune. But hey, it is what it is. That's just my take on it. I feel like, you know, if they're serious about making a fight, and I'm talking about, you know, the side who has the venue booked, the onus is on them to make the fight. They booked the venue. They say they want to fight for that venue. Pressure's on them to make the fight happen. They say they're the A side. A sides get fights made. B sides do not make the fights happen. The A side does. So if you're claiming A side, you book the venue as the A side, you want to make the fight happen, you have to put something on the table that makes the B side jump at your offer, especially considering how negotiations have gone thus far. The B side feels that you jerked them around, played games, pretended you wanted to fight, and then as soon as they agreed to it, you didn't make the fight. You know, so, you know, and I'm saying that's how they feel. That's how they've made it public that they feel. So you have to do something to make the fight happen. I'll say it one more time. 65-35 to the winner of the fight. I think that's a good starting point if you want to make the fight happen. 50-50 in the event of a draw, or even say 60-40 in your guy's favor in the event of a draw. But that's all I got to take. That's my take on it. Shout out to the LDBC, to my subscribers. As always, I want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Hey, this is D-Lo 404 Boxing and More. This is my video. I'm out. Peace.